There we go. And so we just see that it's copied the exact same thing. At this point, Daru, who is our friend, one of 3 people that work in the lab, the Future Gadgets Laboratory, we've made like 8 inventions. So this is the 8th invention. And right now he's been a little bit, he's bringing up a concern that he wanted to help be involved in naming. That the 3rd member of the group, whose name is Mayuri, she's been coming up with names, and those names are just very, not unintuitive. They're very much like, they're way too long, they're not catchy, and he's just kind of like, we're making inventions, we need to have the names of our products to be catchy and like easy to remember and sound exciting. And so this is their latest invention. And he's basically describing, like, when we first set out, like when we first started doing this, the idea was that you would get your bento from the convenience, you would put it in the denshirenju, a microwave oven. You would do that ahead of time. Te oku is kind of saying that you're doing something ahead of time. And then ie ni kairu toki, when you are, the time that you are returning home, jisen ni, beforehand, that's a new one. Jizen ni, it's not a new one, but I just don't have it in my deck for whatever reason. Keitai kara, so from your cell phone, from your mobile phone. Enkaku sosa, that's the word we were just looking at. Sureba, if you were to control it remotely, when at the time that you're returning home, prior to that moment that you're going home, you get on your phone, you remote control. Nanto ie ni tochaku shita toki, when you've arrived home from your the moment that you arrive home, ni wa konbini bento, the lunchbox from the convenience store, no atatame ga kari o shiteiru no da, the bento that you put in there earlier in the day is now finished heating up. Basically, you're on your way home, you text your microwave with your phone, and it microwaves the food that you put in there earlier. Yosuru ni, in short, yosuru ni tsukaimichi, the purpose, no maru de nai, maru de nai, dasaku na no da ga. So he's saying, like, in short, like the purpose of the entire, like the it's not at all doing what it was supposed to, and he's saying it's a dasaku na no da, it's a poor piece of work, it is trash, it doesn't do that. Sujitsu mae, a few days before, kono denwa renji, so the name of this product is denwa renji kari. So it says, like, the denwa renji and then kari is the temporary name. So temporarily it's called the telephone microwave, basically. Denwa renji, denwa is telephone, denshi renji is microwave, so when you combine those, denwa renji, it's kind of like a telephone microwave. Ni wa ito shite nai myou na kinou ga aru koto o hakken shita. So a few days ago, the ito shite nai, so the original, like, there wasn't the original intention. Ni wa myou na, a strange function. Kinou ga aru koto o, they discovered or detected a mysterious function that was not the original intention. Kikkake, chance wa mayuri de, kikkake wa, kikkake, the chance start, the motive wa mayuri de, so from, with mayuri, ano no tenki, laid back, joshi wa, so the Mayuri, who was the laid back girl, kenage ni mo, memorable, commendable, kono den la renji wa kari, の遠隔操作機能は使って冷凍から揚げを温めるのを逃がしていた. So, what is this saying? The kind of like by chance, the carefree, laid back Mayuri in this Densha Renji, the remote control functionality to make use of. So from the fridge, so age, kara age. Okay, kara age. So frozen kara age o atatameru. She was using it to heat up frozen kara age, or kara age from, basically refrigerator frozen atatameru. Toyu wake de, come on. Toyu wake de. So that's to say, itsumo no, usually, as usual, Mayuri ga daisukimono no reito karaage, jushi karaage number one. So to be more specific, it was her favorite karaage brand, which is called Jushi Karaage number one. O kaito shiyo, so defrosting shita tokoro, was trying to defrost it. Yosogai na dekigoto o okita, so an unforeseen, unexpected occurrence, an unexpected event or an incident happened. And Ketsuron kara iyoto, getting straight to the point, that's a new one. Kaito shiyoto shita karaage wa gyakuni, so on the contrary, so thawing shiyo shita, rather than thawing the karaage, reito sarete ita no da. Reito, freezing, storage, sarete ita. It stayed frozen? There we go. Chinamini, by this way, sono toki denwa renji wa ni ireta reito karaage wa hobo jizen kaito状態にあってということを明記しておく、見しておく. So he's again trying to say, like, to be more clear and to put it shortly, which he's been saying spending a lot of time saying this, so it's not really been put short, not really been clear. It seems like my interpretation of what he's saying is that she put something in to be defrosted, and it kept it thawed. It kept it unthawed. It kept it frozen. その唐揚げの温めようとしたところ、逆に on the other hand, カチンコチン rock hard カチンコチンになっていたというわけだ. So the while they were trying to make it so that it was warmed up, on the other hand, it became completely frozen, like much more frozen than before, apparently. それ以来, so since then, from that moment, 俺とダルトで原因を究明中なのだが, so since then they've been trying to research the cause of this. They've been in the middle of researching this.
マユ氏がやった状況を再現して何度も実験したけど、冷凍できたりできなかったりだし。Mayushi, so she is sometimes called Mayushi, that's Mayuri ga. Yatta, the thing she did, yatta jokyo, the situation that she did, o saigen shite nandomo
受験したけど、冷凍できたり、できなかったりだし、できなかったり。So, Mayuri shi ga yatta. So the situation that she did, reappearing it. So, like, many times over, they've they've experimented to recreate it many times over. Reto, cold storage dekitari, to be able to be completed. Deki nakattari dashi, not dashi. So I can't tell. I can't tell if he's suggesting that they've been trying it over and over again, but they haven't been able to replicate it, or they have. Because he says dekitari, dekinakattari, which is we're able to, we're not able to. So maybe it's not been 100% of the time.
さらにへんてこなことになったし。
バナナを冷凍してみようとしたら What if we try a frozen banana? さらに furthermore. へんとこ a strange thing. へんてこなことになったし、さらに moreover, once again, さらに more, even more. So it's if we were to try a frozen banana, さらに moreover, 変とこなことになったし, something strange happened. さっぱりわかんねえ。さっぱり the completely don't understand. 誰は暑さにうんざりした様子で誰は as for 誰暑さ the heat にうんざりした so he was fed up with the heat. The state of affairs of the heat. 服の胸元をつまみ蓋をつまみパタパタをと置いたパタパタ the fluttering, so maybe he's like taking his shirt and waving it to kind of cool him off a little bit. へんてこなことについて so when he's saying the へんてこなこと the strange thing は俺も把握している like I also like understand 今ここでも一度そのへんてこなことを起きるかどうかを試してみることにした So they were that strange thing occurred, the strange thing that occurred, whether or not a strange thing occurred, してみることにした they were trying.
ここにバナナを持て。
Mayuri, ここに bring a banana here. So they want to see if something strange happens if they use a frozen banana. Danwashitsu, the lounge, that's a new one. Danwashitsu の方で相変わらず as usual 相変わらず縫い物 sewing needlework 縫い物をしているMayuriに声をかける while she was doing her sewing you could hear her voice またゲルバナ作れるよ So maybe saying like making another gel banana, like maybe the last time it made a like a banana melted pudding.
ゲルバナって略さないでくんない？
前から気になったけどさ. So the from before, like it's bothering you, interested in, like, けどさ. So like, yeah, that happened before. 前よりしけどばなって、リアクさないでくないでくない。あー、略さない、略さない。The te de kunai. So maybe saying like he didn't like that she said that. Like don't say that.
ゲルバナはゲルバナだもん。
だってね after all ゲルバナはゲルバナだもん. It's just like, you know, after all, that's what it is. まゆりが持ってきたバナナを一房丸ごと. So basically, one segment. So the full thing, I think maybe skin and all, like the whole banana. 電話レンジ仮に入れた. It was, they put the whole banana in there.
なんでいつもいつも一房丸ごと入れるの？もったいないよ。
She's saying like, why なんでいつも always いつも一房丸ごと the whole thing に入れるの? Why are you always putting in the whole thing? もったいない. It's a waste. It's putting all the bananas in there, or the whole banana. Maybe she brought all the bananas, and so they're saying that all the bananas are putting the whole banana in there rather than just a piece. Okay. ケチケチして Don't be stingy, don't be miserly. 機関刀の戦いに勝利することなどできんぞ. Basically saying like we won't win if we're stingy, like the agency. We won't win over the agency. We're fighting the agency. We can't be stingy. Is that so?
勝たなくてもいいよ。あのね、バナナはマユシーが買ってきてるんだからね。おかげでマユシーはちっともバナナが食べられません。
She's mad. So, 勝ちたくなくてもいいよ. So she's saying like it's fine if we don't win. Like it's okay if we don't want to win. You know, 勝たない to not win. 勝たなくてもいいよ. It's also fine not to win. あのね, look here. バナナはまゆりが買ってきてるんだからね. Mayuri bought this. She's like, I bought those bananas. おかげで thanks to me, Mayuri はちっとバナナが食べられません. She's like, I bought those and I'm not even able to eat them.
次からは一本ずつ使うことも検討しておこう。
次からは一本ずつ使うことも検討しておこう. They're saying, so they didn't put the whole bunch of bananas, and they're saying, okay, next time we'll do one banana at a time. だが今度はもう入れてしまったので, but however, this time we've already put them all in there. 腹ペコ hungry 腹ペコ上司の口はきれいにする. So the hungry girl, their hungry girl's idle complaint, her grumble. As for that, splendid, gorgeous. So he just like looked right through. He ignored her hungry pleas because they already put the whole banana bunch in there. 電話レンジ仮の操作方法 how to use 操作方法は至ってシンプルだ. So how you use the 電子レンジ is quite simple. 電車レンジに無理やり so forcibly 無理やり接続した connection, so it's forcibly connected, it's linked to something 専用の携帯, so your own personal phone その番号へかければいい so if you should type in particular phone number 番号はすでに俺自身の携帯に登録済 so it's already registered to his phone number 携帯はどこに入れただろうか and he's wondering where did I put my phone ズボンや白衣のパケットをまさぐってみる so he's looking at his pants and his white coat 携帯はどこに入れただろうか Where did I put my phone? ズボンや白衣のパケットをまさぐってみる So he just said the same thing twice. What the heck? Okay, we just did the same thing 7 times, and now it's saying フォントリガーバタンでバタン I just didn't pull this text over ヘルプでフォントリガーバタンででも呼び出して電話レンジは Oh, okay, so I'm supposed to get my phone at myself. So part of the game is getting the phone at myself. Okay, so I go to contact 電車レンジ呼び出し完了すぐにつながるすぐに immediately it connects
RENG こちらは電話レンジかっこ仮です
So the phone call goes through and we can hear, I'm assuming it's Mayuri's voice. Guidance. This is the guidance of the densha. Renji. Kochira wa denwa renji. This is the denwa renji. And so they're saying koku kari. That's just them saying in parentheses. Kari. Koku kari. Koku is parentheses. Koku kari desu. Denwa renji o kakeru to otto de つながるようになっているのだ So we connected and 流れてきたのは So the stream come to the streaming through マユリによる音声ガイデンスだ So what was coming through was the Mayuri's it's her voice, the voice guidance 音声ガイデンスだ
マユシーの声聞こえてきた
And she's asking me, like, did you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice?
少し黙れ。マユシーガイダンスが聞こえなくなる。
He's saying, like, hey, just quiet a little bit. I can't hear the Mayushi guidance.
こちらからタイマー操作ができます
From here, こちらから timer, the timer. And she's saying, 操作ができます From here, you can control the
シ
timer.
ャープボタンを押した後温めたい秒数をプッシュしてください
So, pound button, を押した後 so after you push the pound button, 温めたい秒数をpush してください So after you push the pound button, type the number of seconds that you would like to warm for.
1
So, for example, if you wanted 1 minute, you would put in the pound rokuzero, and that would give you 60 seconds for 1 minute.
2分ならシャープ120です。
And if you went 2 minutes, you would type in the buttons, the number 120, which is 120. ガイデンスの通りに通りに what? 通りに入力すれば so if you in accordance with the guidance 問題なく電話レンジは回答を始める so with there's no issues with putting the button if there's no issue the Denshi Renji will begin thawing だがここであえて120パウンドと誤入力を行うのだ So he accidentally put in 120 pound instead of pound 120. I get to type in, so we would do okay, so he says he accidentally did it. So, but we should do it right. We should do pound 120. Okay. 入力をあえると after you finish the input 電池レンジ角刈りが低い as a low うなりを上げる動き出した So a low, the noise, a low rumble as it starts up.
これ普通のあっためじゃね？
これ普通な集まじゃね？ So isn't this the normal? しまった。間違えた。I made a mistake. すぐに it's heated up. もう一度。始めていい。Okay, so I messed up. We have to do it again. ここにあって、yeah, so I put it in the wrong way. So I do. これでしょうと。もっともっとは前よりの単なる入力ミスだったのだが、これによりなぜが冷凍が開始されるのだ。電子レンジが動き出す。So the 電子レンジ started up. 中にある回転皿とそれに乗るバナナがゆっくり回り始めた。So the plate inside and the bananas are slowly starting to spin. Weirdly enough, when we did a zoom in shot of the microwave earlier, and there was a Dr. Pepper bottle, I think the intention is that Rintaro is like he set it down when we were closer to that, but now there's just like a Shin Ramen and a 7-Up, or rather a 9-Up. But the Dr. Pepper bottle's not there anymore.
綺麗なターンテーブルだろう。普段と違って逆回転してるんだぜそれ。
綺麗なターンテーブルだろう。So that it's like it's such a beautiful turntable. 普段と違って逆回転 spin in the opposite direction してるんだぜそれ It's like it's spinning the opposite direction as normal
何逆回転
逆回転 He's like what? Spinning the other direction? それは気づかなかった I didn't notice that
そこに重大な意味があるかもしれない漁師の振る舞いにも影響してくる問題でありフードの規則を導入して
そこに重大な意味がある So that has a かもしれない that's probably a strong like reason for that There's probably a really strong reason that that's happening 量子 quantum 量子の 振る舞い behavior 振る舞いにも影響してくる問題であり so if there's a problem with the behavior of the quantum behavior influence of the quantum behavior フントの規則 so the Funt's rule it's a Russia maybe the name of a scientist who came up with a rule を導入した so we're introducing the Funt's
あるわ
rule
ねえよ
あれはねえよ he's like that's not it
ないか。
ないか
ないね
ない
そうか。
I see 3人でバナナが回るの黙る見守ったwhat a strange 見守った almost used every single M syllable 見守った so 3 of them were silently just watching the bananas after 120 seconds 警戒しレンジが警戒音を鳴らした so after it finished the what is this the basically the ending noise I don't know why this is kei recovery convalescence light nimble sprightly jaunty cheerful noise probably a cheerful noise cry ring out nakakara from inside banana o toridasu they took the banana is out from inside
ゲルバナの出来上がり。
デルバナナ出来上がり where's that's not what she said here we go finished to complete 出来上がりバナナはバナナではなくなっていた so they're not bananas they've kind of turned into this weird green gel it seems 逆白 ultra thinness skin 皮の中で and their ultra thin skin ジェル a gel になっている so their thin skin has become a gel しかも and moreover 一房丸々だ like the whole all the bananas the entirety マユリが電話レンジ係に冷凍機 the freezer 冷凍機能があることを冷凍機能発見した後バナナを凍らせてみようって実験してみたその結果凍るところかなぜかこんなへんてこな結果が出てしまったのである so basically after replicating what she did the bananas didn't become frozen it just became this strange thing this strange result would happen おかげで thanks to 俺たちとしてはますます混乱するばっかりなのだ like and since then it's just been more and more kind of like chaos for them
このバナナ食べてみようとは思わないか思うはずだ。我らの2年達成の犠牲となり散ったダルに敬礼。
So my initial, just from listening to that, my initial thought is that he's saying, like, I think you should eat one of these bananas. ダルよ、このバナナ食べてみようと思わないか Like, should we try eating one of these bananas? 思うはずだ Like, I think we have to. 俺らの理念達成の規制となり散っ ta daru ni keirei. I assume he's saying that, like, the as for our ideal achievement, the ideal achievement of the victim to nari tone cheated. So this falls to daru, like the ideal, to be the victim of our pursuit of, like, the ideal success, our ideal victory, falls to him, and he's saying, like, I salute, I bow to you.
すげえまずそうじゃん
Suge mazu. So, like, he's like, that's just the worst, like, the impressively bad taste. Like, that impressively bad thing to say.
味は関係ない。食べることに意味があるのだ。さあダルよ、遠慮することはない。骨は拾ってやるから思い切ってずついと行くがいい。
And he's saying, 味は関係ない。すげえまずいじゃん。So I guess he was saying that it would taste off, it would be the worst flavor, and he was saying, like, it's not related to the flavor. 食べることに意味があるのだ. It's just more meaningful to eat it. さあダルは遠慮することはない. Don't hold back. 骨は拾ってやるから思い切ってずっと行くかい. Just basically the 骨は, like, to just it's probably a phrase. 骨を pick up your bones, find your backbone, kind of a thing. Yaru, yeah, don't think about it. Make up your mind. Just do it. Do it without thinking, without hesitation.
いらね
Irane. And he's just saying no.
では
I don't want to.
お前にその名誉を譲る。
では、Mayuri, お前はその名誉を譲ろう. He's saying, well, Mayuri, the honor has been handed over to you.
なんかね、ゲルバナは中身がデロデロでブニュブニュだったよ。
This is going to be interesting. That's a lot of strange things. Nankane, something like Jerubanana wa, something like that. Nakami, contents ga tero, so probably something along the lines of terrible. Tero. De bunyu. This is not showing a bunyu ni datta no de. It's probably some type of colloquialism or thing that I'm not fully. Let's just look up dero bunyu and see if that leads us anywhere. Gerubana. So right now it's just a lot of people bringing in that that's what the line is. Oh wow, jumping in a drink. But what is the this may not be giving us a definition. Let's just try bunyu. Imi desu ka? Onomatopoeia. Okay. Ripe fruit or mellow fruit. Yona. Zuibun. Fukumu. Yawaranai. Imeji shimasu. So, like, well then what is dero? Because that was the other one, right? Dero. How about dero? That's a manga series, okay. Here we go. What is meaning of dero? So much. So she's kind of saying, like, it seems like it's too ripe. It's like too juicy. て、もうすでに試食済みだったのか、もう already すでに already too late sampling なのか。やはりこの天然女子は大物だ。間違いない。
味もしないし全然美味しくなかった。
She tried it. She tried to have it. 味もしない。There's no flavor. 全然美味しくなかった was not tasty at all.
でブニュブニュか。ダリオ、どう思う？
They're saying like, oh, it's like overly ripe, like too like watery. Basically, is what they were kind of suggesting. And he's saying like, what do you think, Daru?
ブニュブニュバナナか。ブニュブニュのバナナ。
And he's just saying an overripe banana. Daru no hana no ana kara. So from his nose, akai. He starts bleeding from his nose. If you notice there, Daru no hana no ana kara. Akai shizuku, a drop. Shizuku ga sutto suji dareru. So a thin stream of blood was.
マユシ、あなたのバナナブニュブニュだねって言ってみて。
まゆりし、あなたのバナナブニュブニュだねって言ってみて。
ダルくん鼻血出てる。
So I'm gonna guess here that there's some type of this is where understanding Japanese culture from watching too much anime will help you out here. So my guess here is that what they're saying, there must be a slightly sexual meaning behind bunyu bunyu. And so he was saying like, oh Mayushi, will you say that your banana is bunyu bunyu? When you try saying that, and then she's saying like your nose is bleeding. Any anime where a character is like being like pervy or leering or like overly turned on by somebody, like they will start, usually male character, they'll start bleeding from the nose. And there's some like, I don't know where that originates. I'm sure we could look it up and find out, but basically, you think, Sanji, or you think, the little stupid purple grape kid from Hero Academy, Master Roshi, they get a little bit turned on and they just start gushing blood out of their nose. That is what they're showing here by that. It's not like something sci-fi where like, something happened and he's bleeding from the nose because of some secret weapon. He just... them talking about bananas, them using that phrase, bunyu bunyu, became a situation. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture that so I can look that up off stream, just so that I can figure out, like, for myself, because it gets just getting back into that kind of, like, things you don't want to accidentally say, not realizing that you've said something that might be slightly offensive.
いいから言ってみてください。お願いします。
He's like, it's fine. Please try saying it, please.
あなたのバナナブニュブ。
言わせるな手の額。
He says, she starts saying it. 言わせる手のが. So he's saying like the like he don't make her say that, you idiot, basically. And then he's what? 頭をティッシュ箱で折り切りは耐えてやる。はて耐えてやるとダルはおとなしくなった。 So he's hit him in the face with a box of tissues. Yaru to Daru wa, and then Daru became very quiet and submissive. 言わされそうになった前よりはよく理解できていないらしく So what she had become made to say, like, she didn't understand 理解できていない She wasn't understanding what she was asked to say 能天気な laid back 微笑みを浮かべるまま首をかしげる So she just kind of tilted her head like, what's the problem? Like, she's just carefree. She's just not fully understanding why everyone's responding this way. Again, he's got a knife. And now, what is he saying? ゲル状になったということは半公開 So it's like half gel, like it became half gel. その足 that's to say 粉じ同士の結びつきが弱くなっている可能性がある That's an interesting one. ゲル状 So gelatinous になったということは So that they became saying that they became gelatinous is hanto, so half of it. That is the molecules, the fellow molecules that they're connected to became weak. Is the possibility that the molecules weakened. And again, he's saying, hankoke, solid, half solid. So it was solid, now it's half solid. Sunawachi, that is, moto moto, koke datta banana ga ekijouka shita. So it, like half of the banana became liquefied, basically. I understand. Soka, is that so? I understand. 俺は開発室 the 開発室 the lab room の奥にあるホワイトボードに向かうと he's turned to the whiteboard ど真ん中に大きく in really large letters in the middle he wrote 冷凍と書き込んだ so he came to write 冷蔵庫 really big in the middle 冷凍そしてその2文字を two characters 即座に immediately で消す he immediately erased two characters 手でパンパンと and then he hit it with his hand
冷凍機能だと思い込んでいたが実は違ったのだよ
俺たちは us 冷凍機能 so the refrigeration function だと思い込んでいたが実は違ったのだよ so we thought it was a freezing functionality but it's not この地球上 so this earth の存在するほぼすべての物質は so around this world like the most it's almost approximately the known world come on 液体から so from liquid 固体に変わると体積が減り逆に密度は大きくなる density. So on this world 存じするほぼす hobo subete jitsu wa. So the material, as for the material of this world, the most of the known, almost all the known existence in this world is liquid from is from liquid. Solid bodies from liquid that changed, and volume has changed as the changing from a liquid, from a solid body to a liquid, as the volume or the capacity decreases. Conversely, the density becomes larger. It's very scientific. This is an app called Agent. So Agent is something that it acts the same way as a text extractor that you would use on other visual novels. But if you've tried that, like I did, you'll find that visual novels built on Mages, the platform or the code base or engine that they build, Steins and the same company has put a couple of other games out on the same engine. The one that I know of is Chaos Head. Normal text extractors don't work on that. Agent, however, works incredibly well. Earlier in the stream, I was kind of showing how that works. So once you download Agent, this is what it looks like. There's two tabs. There's Agent. So I basically use this target. You drag this button over to your window of what you have open. For me, it's Steinsgate. You use this button here on the side here. This is where you load your script. You have a button that you click to refresh or update the script to make sure you've got the most recent script. And then you go into this search bar here. I can't do it now because I'm already attached, but you type in what game you're playing. So I had to type in Steinsgate, and then it gave me all the Steinsgate scripts that were available. And I selected Steam Mages. And then this big green button normally says attach. I click attach, it attaches. You have two options. I have machine translate off because I'm using this to learn Japanese, and so I don't want the machine translation assistance. I'm going to figure this out on my own, and machine translation's not always accurate, so I don't want to be kind of led astray or confused by that, so I turn it off. I have WebSocket server turned on. If you have WebSocket server turned on, you can click this, or you can copy it to your clipboard, and you can open a browser, and it takes you to that exact same address. And then there's a little window. It looks a little different than this, but if you right-click the top corner, you can move it around. You can resize it, and it's mainly visual novels. If it could be used with other games, I'm not sure. There were a lot of options in here. It also has some ability to have an OCR. So in theory, it might be able to be used with other games. With the OCR box, that basically, I haven't been able to get that to work very well, but you would basically be able to draw a box over an image, and the same thing could happen. But I haven't tried it out because it was just, it wasn't working. But I think if you use this in the OCR box, you can draw a box around some Japanese text, and it can translate it for you. And I think it'll all show up in the window like this. They might have other games, as long as the script exists and it can understand where you are in the game. It might work out. But I haven't explored that too much. I've only mainly seen this type of technology used in visual novels because they're pretty linear and branching, whereas like you're playing a Pokemon, you're interacting and creating the script or the text to show up at very random times, and so it would be really hard for an engine to keep up with that. So that's something that you might have to use an OCR on, and there might be better OCR programs to use, but that's what it's called if you want to look that up. OCR. They've got some OCRs that exist for using on a computer. People use that for reading manga and things like that. Any other images that you might have, and that in theory should work on a. Running into kanji without furigana is very annoying, and especially when you are trying to use something like no, you're good. part of this is to do that. It's especially annoying if you're going through and trying to use the kind of, this is what I normally do, is to pull out the elements to like find the kanji that you're looking at. And the amount of times where I go through and I'm like, oh, it's using this kanji or this kanji, and the kanji that you're looking at technically doesn't use that. It's technically another piece down here where it's just kind of like this. It looks like it uses some of these, but it's listed separately. It's never fun. It's never fun. And I've had really bad luck trying the kanji dictionaries where you can draw the character in. It never works for me. So being able to use Yomichan or Yomitan on a web browser and to be able to kind of highlight and do this has been, it's sped things up so much for me. But yeah, no, thanks. He asked questions. I'm happy to jump in and provide any insights. Yeah, it's so strange, and not every dictionary. So this is the dictionary I have that allows me to search that. I prefer this dictionary, which is what is this called? JPDB beta, and you can type a word, a kanji, or a sentence. They don't, unless I don't. Granted, I don't fully know how to use this. There's a lot of functionality here that exists. What I didn't realize is if you type, you can put a whole sentence in this, and it puts the whole sentence out like this, which is nice. So if you do have text somewhere that you can copy and paste, you can drop the whole sentence in here, and that's helpful. It has a machine translation function as well. I deleted that. I turned it off. But I've not found a way to search for kanji using any type of tool like this for recognizing components or anything like that. So I prefer this one for a lot of things, but I've been using Larenji's Jisho for searching kanji specifically. Yes. So what is Rintaro saying? Reito wa, as for cold storage or freezing, masani, exactly, ekitai kara, so exactly or certainly from liquid, koutai e henko sareru koi da ga. So he's saying that a freezer or freezing takes things from liquid and makes them solid. So that's what a freezer is doing. It's changing something from a liquid state to a solid state. Jikin shita banana wa, so the experimented banana. As for the banana that we did the experiment on, masaka, however, will masaka no, that's okay. Unexpected result. Keika, masaka no keika o shimeshita. Displayed or demonstrated a unexpected result. Jeru shou ni natteiru toyu koto wa, it became a gel form. Mitsudo ga, the density. I don't have density in my dictionary. There we go, density. Oh, I have it in my dictionary. I don't have a flashcard. So added it to my Anki deck. Heiteiru toyu koto da. So the density decreased toyu koto da. So what he's saying is that it became a gel, meaning its density decreased. Keshite reito to once more, reito to wa yobenai. So it can't be called reito. So basically, because it became gel, we can't call it reito because it wasn't freezing. It wasn't working like a freezer. So once again, our very egotistical sa omae dachi na nanda to nandate. So he's like saying, like, and all of you are saying, what What does that mean? To yobu ga ii. So, it would be good for you to yell that out right now. Koko wa yobu tokoro. So, here, this is what I'm trying to say. だが、二人のリアクションは薄かった。Their reactions were very light. They were weak. They weren't really. He's excited. He's really going through, and they're just kind of like, I don't. What are you saying? マユリはおそらく俺の言葉の意味を理解していないからやむを得ないとして。So he's saying like, well, Mayuri, she probably just doesn't understand. She probably just, it's unavoidable. She can't understand what I'm saying.
冷凍機能じゃないのは分かってるっつうの。
Whereas Daru, 冷凍機能, so the freezing functionality, じゃないのは分かっている。So he's like, I understand that it's not freezing technology. 分かっているならなぜさっき言わんだのだ. And so he's thinking, if you already understood that, like, why did you say, like, earlier, why did you say?
じゃあこの機能って何ぞ？何が起きてんの？ってことじゃん。
問題は the question is, the problem is, じゃあこの機能って何ぞ? So like, what is the function? 何が起きてんの? What is it that happened? ってことじゃん. So it's like, so the question is, what happened?
解凍じゃないのかな。
So she's saying like, it's not freezing, it's not thawing.
実に愚鈍な意見だな、マユリ。それでは普通の電子レンジと同じではないか。
Indeed, gudon silliness, gudon na hikenda na mayuri. He's like, what a foolish opinion, what a foolish view, Mayuri. それでは普通の電子レンジと同じではないか. This isn't like a normal
じゃあ
microwave.
どういうこと？
じゃあどういうこと? So, like, what kind of thing?
それが分かんないから悩んでるんだお。
So he's saying, それが、いや、わかんない。So,それが, so from that, well, I don't understand. Because we don't understand. 悩んでるんだ. Like, it's troubling. ほぼ解凍状態にあったから揚げが okay, I keep getting screwed. Karaage is a usually chicken, deep fried chicken. It's like a Japanese style chicken nugget, you could say. And every time I read through, I see kara, and I want to say like, oh, atta kara, but it's not. It's every time it's been karaage. Hobo, almost kaito jotai ni atta karaage. So he's saying like nearly the state of the thawing of the karaage was like nearly thawed. Rei to jotai ni modotte shimatta ryu. The reason why it returned it to a frozen state was 正直なところ, honestly speaking, お手上げだった. It's hope. I still don't know. Now we've gone outside. What's going on? 俺とダルは電話レンジ係について悩むのを切り上げて大ビルに向かった。So they went towards the larger building. They gave up worrying about the Denshi Ranger and they left. And they're going towards the building. Maybe they're going towards the building where the thing crashed into it. 今日はこの後 ATF でのセミナーに参加しなければならない. That's a fun grammar point that comes up a lot. It sounds scary, seems confusing. We'll get to it. 今日は. So, this is translated as こんにちは, but they're saying 今日は, but it's spelled the exact same. こんにちは. 今日は is really 今日は. 今日はこの後. So after today, ATF でのセミナー, it's going to be a seminar, に参加, they're participating, しなければならない. なければならない, have to. They must, they should. So they have to participate. So after today, they have to participate in the ATF, a seminar at the ATF. Don't know what that is. 俺とダルが通っている東京天気大学が so they're going past the road they're on that's going past the Tokyo electric engineering college, something along those lines. Tokyo 天気大学が産学 this is a big one. 産学 this is going to be key no function. 産学連携機能 so we put this together, industry university, so combination of industry and university and academic, 連携 and 機能 so it's like a industry and academic functional combined school. No 一貫として so they're it's a combination of I guess you could say it's like a trade school. There's traditional universities, and what they're probably describing, this is a school that is kind of bridged that gap. You're learning how to do the work, and you're not focused on other things. It's really just kind of like you're learning the trade. この ATF に単位を設定しているのだ. So, this ATF に単位 unit or credit in school を設定しているんだろう. So in cooperation with the school, this is a joint cooperation with the college, and that's what this ATF is basically a unit or a it's probably getting into the like credits. So like you can earn credits, establish credits. It was created to have credits or something along those lines. It's basically a group that is affiliated with the school and the industry, linking them together. いわゆる what it is called, as it's called, いわゆる夏の特別講習というところ. So this is like a summer course, a special summer course that is kind of bridging the gap for students and people who are in industry. I got an email. これに出てレポートを書かないと何がもらえないゼミがあるため参加させざるを得ないのである. Can't avoid, so the ざるせざるを得ない is to can't avoid doing, cannot help but to do. So they can't help but participate, のである. So they can't help but participate, so これにだってレポートを書かないと. So basically, if they don't want to write a report, if they don't want to turn in a point, then they have to go to the seminar. そういえば, so, which reminds me, 今日のシンポジアムはどんな内容だっただろうか? What is today's symposium? Like, what are the contents of today's symposium? 夏休みに入る前に、夏休みに入る前に、so before we entered summer vacation, 一度確認した気がするが、忘れてしまった。So like he kind of before summer vacation he knew what the topics or the symposiums were, but unfortunately he has forgotten.
ご覧ください。秋葉原駅前のビルに謎の巨大物体が墜落しています。
Somebody on the phone. 女性レポーター。女子レポーター。ご覧ください。Please look at. ご覧ください。秋葉原駅前のビル。A building in front of the 秋葉原 station, train station. 謎の巨大物体が墜落しています。So, please look, basically, there's a building that's in front of the Akihabara station, and a giant body, like a giant object, has crashed in. 墜落しています。
現在、警察による規制が敷かれ、ビルの前まで行くことはできませんが、遠くから見る限りでは、墜落した物体は人工衛星のように見えます。
So the reporter is saying now, 現在, so as of now, at the present time, 警察による, according to police, 警察による, we're using the according to here. According to police, 規制が, so traffic or control regulation, 規制が敷かれ, so police have taken up positions all around. ビルの前まで行くことはできませんが, so in front of the building, and you know, up until including the as far as in front of the building, 行くこと, 行く is a verb, you add koto, it becomes a noun that we can use as a noun, 行くこと. So as for going to that area, ことはできませんが, you cannot do. You're unable to go as far as the front of the building. Ga, which typically at this point in the instance would mean however. 近くから from nearby, from a distance. 近くから or 遠く から from a distance. 遠くから近くから would be you're much closer. 遠くから見る. So to see from farther away, 見る限りでは. So there's places where you can see. It's limited what you can see, but you can see from a limit. 墜落した物体は人工衛星のように見えます. But like you can't get close to the front of the building, but from a little farther away, you are able to see the object that crashed in, and it kind of looks like a man-made satellite. UPX と大ビルを大ビルを Why is it not letting me get this word? 大ビルを Strange. Let's just see that it's by itself. I don't want Copilot. No. I've never wanted Copilot in my entire life. Why didn't I want the whole phrase? Anyhow. Yeah, so this is not showing up as a word. What is happening? Link together. Tsunagu. I knew that, but why is it showing up as very strange. Tsunagu. Okay. をつなぐ陸橋の上から下を見ると、今日はいつも以上に人が多いと感じた。UPX と大ビルを So UPX and the big building, they keep calling it Daibiru. So they're, I think we were saying they're connected. Tsuranagu. It's like this doesn't exist as a word, but it basically means connected. This is like to knit together, to link. And this is a viaduct or overhead bridge. No ue kara. So from the on top of a bridge that's connecting the two buildings, that is below miru to. So if you were to look, so to is if you were to, if you were in, when you look down from above, from this bridge that's connecting the two buildings. If you look down from that today, itsumo, you'll always see basically a lot of people experience. Yeah, there's a lot of people, I think, is the gist of what that's saying. Part of what I'm going through is like, I'm not going to understand everything. I don't need to understand everything. Don't get slowed down while you're like experiencing, especially learning Japanese. Whether or not I fully understood whether they were on top of a bridge that's above, like we're on a bridge here. That word, this verb that wasn't showing up anywhere, I don't fully need to know all that. It's okay. I can just like move past it. It's not going to change the story. One thing that I am going to change is that I this is giving me the notification that I have mail, so I think I should check my mail rather than ignore it. It's from Mayuri. Anone. Okay, so this does come up for here. That's the other thing the agent does that not everything else, not other text directors do, is it lets me get this text over here. So Mayuri says, Uppa, anone. Anone. What did that do? I hit a button I didn't mean to. Alright, doesn't matter. Ima ni natte. So at this point, Uppa o ochito shichatta koto ni shonbori shita kita yo. Shonbori. So she's downhearted. She's become, basically, she's come to become downhearted about the fact that she dropped her uppa. Kyonen, last year, debucho, fatty or butterball? Debucho gero. Gero kaeru. Kaenakatta toki ijo kamo. So she's saying she's feeling really downhearted about dropping her uppa. We got a metal uppa from a machine, a gachapon machine. She was really excited. It was a premium, super rare. It cost $100 if you were going to buy it online. She dropped it. They couldn't find it. A thing crashed into the building. They're not going back there. And she's saying last year, debucho gero kaeru. It's basically saying last year, the chubby little frog. There's another mascot from the same like series. It's like an anime or a game that she likes, and a popular character that recently was this little fat ugly frog. And so she's saying she couldn't kai nakata. She wasn't able to buy this. She's so downhearted. So what this was saying last year, kyonen debuchu kaeru. So last year, kaenakatta, unable to buy, when she was unable to buy it, since then, kamo. So that's a little bit, it's an email, it's from a character who kind of handles and texts and talks about things in kind of a weird, her own way. I'm not 100% sure what this truly means. If it didn't have last year, my interpretation would be that like so kamo is like probably kamo, not less than ijo, but then kaita toki, so to not be able to purchase, kainai, not be able to purchase, kainakata, wasn't able to purchase to time. So basically she was saying like, last year the fat little frog, she wasn't. It was a time she wasn't even able to buy that. That. Oh, okay. She's disheartened that she dropped the Upa, and she's probably more upset than the time last year where she wasn't able to buy the fat little frog. So I think she really wanted that fat little frog. She wasn't able to buy it for whatever reason, and that bummed her out. But dropping the metal Upa today is a worse experience than not being able to buy the fat little frog last year. I think we solved it. Okay, so then we have to... Okay. Put the phone away. Oh yeah, we could right-click on it. Okay, so... You just have to right-click over and over again to get the phone put away. How are we here? So, shikamo, moreover. So, you can see a lot of people. Akiba de wa ammari mikakenai yona. So, shikamo, furthermore, akiba de wa ammari mikakenai. So, it's so that we really can't, you're unable to see from Akihabara. You're not really able to see much. It's become that you haven't been able to see much. Chara chara shita kako no wakai danjou ga meidatsu. So, to be conspicuous, to stand out. Chara chara shita kako no. So the chatter of the chattering appearance and forms of the young people are standing out. So shikamo akiba de wa ammari mikakenai yona. Again, not 100% certain on all this that's being said, and it's not super important, but it's just kind of like, moreover, you can't, seems like you're seeing a lot of people if you look down from this particular bridge. Moreover, akiba de wa, as for in Akihabara, ammari, not very much, mikakenai yona. It's become that you're not really able to notice or see much of the people that are kind of walking around and talking. Again, not 100% sure. Karera wa minna ichiyo ni, the same. Imada fusasarete iru dori no kata e to sorosoro to aruite iku tokoro datta. So this is saying that as karera wa minna, them, everybody in kind of like the same, they look the same. No, still as of yet, fusasarete iru. There's basically still a blockade in the middle of the street. Aruite iku, to come to walk, tokoro datta. No kata e sorosoro. So still streams of people have come to like walk because of the blockade, I guess. Daru wa rajikan ni kenbutsu ni ikanai no ka? Do you want to go look at the building? You want to go look at the radio building?
どうせ行っても見られないっしょ。もちろんネットに上がってくる情報にはほぼ目を通してるのだぜ。アットちゃんのスレ数100超えたし、勢いすげえ。
Alright, what's he got to say? どうせ anyhow, in any case, 行っても if we go, 見られないよ、見られないしょ. So sho is kind of like a probably him shortening like the sho. So it's kind of showing up here as this kind of like, I know, don't you agree? Like, we probably won't be able to see, even if we go, we won't be able to see anything. もちろんネットに上がってくる. So online, let's come to rise of the information, 情報には, so the information that's come to rise up online はほぼ目を通してるのだぜ。So the 目を通してるほぼ basically the to scan over, to look over, no da ze. So ze is usually going to be, I always get, I feel like in my classes that we've talked about that being like a negative, but must not be. Maybe he is saying like, yeah, another sentence ender, I can tell you, or hint. Again, it's a very masculine, familiar thing to say. These sentence enders that will throw you off. So it's not da ze, it's da, and then ze is just this particle at the end. Adds something, a certain je ne sais quoi. But he's just saying like the information. So with the information he's saying online, hobo, basically like you can see everything online. Like why do I need to go? All the images and all the information like is coming up online. A-chan no sure, a thread on A-chan. There's like a number of threads on A-chan, which is the website that he's going to. It's a message board, an image board. Hyaku, what? Hyaku koetashi. So they've already been over 100 threads. Iki oi suge. So he's just basically saying like, we're not going to be able to see much, and already online, like, all this information is coming up. There's over 100 threads on 8chan, and it's like, it's very energetic. It's a lot of like, it's a hot topic right now. Sakikara, since some time ago. Arukinagara, so while they've been walking, keitai o nagamete ita no wa soyu koto datta no ka. So like as they were walking, he looked at his phone and it's just kind of like, yep, that seems to be the case. Daibiru no naka ni haite elevator ni nori. So they have gone in to the dai building, the big building. Daibiru no naka ni, inside the dai building. Haite elevator ni nori. They are riding the elevator they entered. Gokai ni aru ATF no kaijou e mukau. They are going towards the conference room, the assembly hall, on the 5th floor for the ATF. Daru says, suzushi, it's cool reflection. There's AC in this elevator. Ikikaeru, to revive, to come to oneself, to be restored to life. Ze, I could tell you, I was like, this, like, I feel like I'm coming back to life, and then he's just saying, ba 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 ba. Yeah, you can look this stuff up all you want. It's not going to tell you anything. It's just a noise somebody's making. Japanese language is full of fun little noises like that. Daibiru nai wa earcon ga kiiteiru. It's effective. It's functioning well. The air conditioning inside Daibiru, it's working. Bimbo gakusei ni totte wa oasis da, oasis. That's the problem that I run into all the time. You get these borrowed words, these loan words, this katakana, and it's, if I had not hovered over this, would I have ever gotten to the point where I realized that said oasis? No. I pronounce it oasis. If I were to try to write that in Japanese, I probably would try to write it the way that I would pronounce it, oasis. It is not. Oashisu. They're using the spelling. There's an A there. We're going to put an A there as well, but our A is pronounced differently. So it's not oasis, it's oashisu. There's also no C. Shisu, oashisu. It's a very bizarre thing where sometimes they'll borrow a loan word, but they won't pronounce it that way. Hey, what are you going to do? So he's saying, like, for, as, you know, Nitote, from the standpoint, as far as poor college students are concerned, this is an oasis. This is perfect. Oretachi ga 真面目に ATF へ参加しているも一つの理由でもある. So he's basically saying like, as for us, like seriously, like participation in the ATF, there's just another reason. It's just another reason to participate in these.
電話レンジ過去仮の件だが、俺は答えを導き出したかもしれん。
There we go. And entonces, 電話レンジ各仮の件だが, so as for the subject, the topic of the 電話レンジ, 俺は答え an answer を導き出す It's a new one. 導き出したかもしれん. Like I may have an answer. I may have deduced an answer.
そのカッコ借りってめんどいからいい加減やめるべき。
そんなカッコ借りて面倒からいい加減やめるべき. He's just like it's so annoying to say kakukari. Like you should just to the extent that you should stop saying it. It's annoying to the extent that you should just stop saying it altogether. Which I love. All right, one quick second. I got to double check to make sure. I do a little bit of self-promotion here and there before the stream starts, just making sure that nobody sent me any nice little messages. Regardless, to the extent that, it's so annoying to say kakukari, which is like in parentheses, temporary. So imagine you named a product like, oh, this is the telephone microwave, name, temporary name. That's temporary that we're calling it. And you said that every time. Like, he's just saying, like, it's just stop saying it every time. それは断固として譲れない so that's something that he's like he's very firm about. He's not like he's unable to move past that. Like he's not giving up on that. 俺以外のラボ面が角刈りを使わなくなったとしても俺だけは使い続ける. So he's saying like even if everybody else stopped using it, I would still continue using it. Like he really likes it. 正式名称 the official name 正式名称を決まるまではないではなではまではな. So it could be this the moment this start going. So like that's made wa na. So this is an interesting one too. Made, it has to be made. So it's not de wa na. It's made wa na. So he's saying it should be ne. So he's saying like the official name Kimaru Made, like until the official name is decided, I'm gonna keep calling it that. Again, why I try to reiterate that like it's not worth investing too much time into like really breaking down that. Like if we start seeing more and more things end in dewa na, maybe looking it up, but I'm gonna say that the particle that most people have learned to use in a sentence where you're gonna say like right or add a little bit of emphasis like that is ne. And you also learn yo, that adds a strong emphasis. The masculine ne can be seen as the more feminine way of saying, like right. And you'll see anime or manga where there'll be like a group of women, and they'll all kind of they won't even say a whole sentence. They'll say ne, which is really just saying like right. And then sometimes more the masculine character or male character will say na instead of ne. So this, I think, is just going to be our masculine version of ne. It's still weird to have this kind of made wa. Made wa doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But de wa na, even though it sort of makes sense and could make sense, having the ma by itself, kimaru ma doesn't make any sense. Whereas made, until, as of now, have not decided. So, again, just
そんなことは今はどうでもいい。
moving past it. そんなことは今はどうでもいい. So he's saying like that right now, that kind of thing doesn't matter.
お得意のとんでも理
But I
論
was
も
just
ひら
saying
めい
too.
ちゃったん。
お得意のとんでも unthinkable とんでも理論でもひらめいちゃったん. So this is an interesting one. お得意の so お得意 so the triumph, pride, want transparency, the probably not frequent customer. Otokui no, so what is it? Of toki no tondemo. Tondemo. Sometimes you'll see these in katakana. Usually it's just as a way to emphasize, kind of like using bold in when you're writing and typing in English. But sometimes when they have it as a separate thing, it means it's just, sometimes words just show up in katakana more often than showing up in hiragana. And it's not that it's a borrowed word. Katakana is not exclusively used for loan words or foreign language words. It's typically, but not always. Tondemo. Tondemo nai is something I've learned, but tondemo, unthinkable. The unthinkable tondemo nai theory, the outrageous, the unexpected theory. So the triumph, the pride of your unexpected theory. Demo, however, hirame chatta. What was it that came to your mind? Very long.
俺はいつもこの世の神羅万象すら超越したあらゆる可能性について思考を巡らせているのだ。とんでもとか言うな。
Now, what's he have to say about that? Nani o yuka? What did you say? He said he's offended by what Daru just said. Ore wa itsumo. Ore wa itsumo. It's as for me, it's always what? Kono sei no shinra bansho. All things in nature, the whole creation. Shinra bansho sura, even all things in this world. Choetsu shita arayuru kinosei ni tsuite. So concerning the possibility of all things, transcending all things, even transcending all things, natural things around the world. Always for me, always above transcending all those things. Omoi shiko o megurasate iru no da. Like he's always considering and thinking things. All no matter what. I guess what he's saying is like it's just a strike of did something just appear, like what is this grand theory just kind of like it came to you, and he's just kind of like, no, I'm always considering and thinking of all things that around the world, constantly thinking. Tondemo toka yunai. Tondemo, so it's not unexpected, it's not outrageous, like
神羅万象を超越ってつまり何でもありってことじゃね？理論ってレベルじゃねえぞ。
Now what's he gonna come back with? Shiranban sho, all things in nature, the whole creation. Oh, choetsu de, so transcending above all things in nature. Tsumari nandemo ari te koto jan. Like, did you just say that, like, transcending all things? Rikon te reberu janezo. Like, is that the level of this theory?
だるよ。電話レンジカッコ仮はシュタインズゲートを開く鍵だという気がするのだが、どう？
ダル。 電話レンジを書く鍵は運命 Oh yeah, this is Steins Gate. If you see it on the screen here, this is Steins Gate, and I always stop to read it because it's 運命石の扉. So if you were to translate this really like this, the stone of fate, the jewel of fate, of the door. So like this door with the jewel of fate, the stone of fate. But it's Steins Gate. Hiraku. It's the opening of Steins Gate. Hiraku. Kagi da toyu ki ga suru no da ga dou omou. He thinks that Denshi Renju is the key to opening Steins Gate. Earlier on, we had a little bit of a conversation around the concept of opening Steins Gate and what that meant. Steins Gate being not a physical gate, but a theory, like this kind of scientific theory. And it does seem to be related to time travel, because the beginning of the game we went through this conference that was centered around building a time machine. And I think the idea of Steins Gate being the thing that you would open or cross when that discovery happened.
そのシュタインなんとかってところからして意味不明なわけだが、
そのシュタインなんとか something about Stein とところからして意味不明なわけだが So I want to say he's really just kind of going through and saying like the そのしたいのなんとか that something like that したいというところからして意味不明 incomprehensible ambiguous わけだが wakeda. Let's just double check our wakeda. This is the other site that I like to use for that reason. This is boompro.jp. It's got you can sign up, you can do all this stuff. It makes flashcards of grammar. I do not sign up for it. I don't think I've ever paid for it. But on the website you can go through and you can just search through grammar points. They've got them listed so you can get a pretty good idea of like, oh, wakeda. I just always forget it because there's a lot of wakeda, wakede wa nai, wake ga nai, wake ni wa ikanai, and even more. Nai wake ni wa ikanai, toyu wake de wa nai. So, this gets to the part where it's confusing. Wakeda ga, none of these have da outside of this one, wakeda, which is for that reason. And so that gets us back into sono. So this Steins nantoka te. So talking of something about Steins tokoro kara. So from the fact that you're talking about that, imi, it's that's the reason. It's like it's the reason that this is nonsensical. Wait, let's just get this again. Get this more cryptic, nonsensical. Is because you're talking about something like Steins Gate. Again, my interpretation. I'm not saying that that's correct. And I encourage you, translate stuff, be wrong. Go through, learn this stuff, be wrong as much as you can. I'm gonna go through this, and if I don't understand something, I'll look it up later. I'll be wrong about it. I'll just be confused at a certain point. But you know, if you think about watching a movie, even in English, you're reading a book in English, there's going to be a page or two that you read that you just forget. The amount of time I spent reading books where I don't remember every little thing. It doesn't matter. You remember the broad strokes. You'll still finish the game with what you do remember. The moments that are important, all the little details, these very specific details aren't important. Even a native Japanese person is going to go through and just go, don't have to fully comprehend every single moment. And that's fine. And if you get it wrong, that's fine. I get things wrong. I understand things in English wrong all the time. You just the meaning, the context of what somebody said is easy to get confused. Sometimes the intention of the author is to confuse you. So, you know, not that every time you're confused, it's the intention of the author, but being confused and not understanding something right off the bat is not a reason to stop, not a reason to slow down. It is just part of the process. I firmly believe it's better to read and move through and power through as much as possible than to spend all of your time focused on like a single page of a manga. Very easy to, but read that page, read the next one, read the whole book, then go back and do a deep read later. Anyhow, all this is saying is that I want to get... It's just letting us know that the chime for the 5th floor arrived, but I want to get through the specifics. So the Gokai ni tochaku, arrival. Tochaku shita koto. So the thing of arriving at the 5th floor. O. So what happened? Shimesu oto. The sound demonstrating that you have arrived at the 5th floor. Naru. Rang. Sounded out. Wazuka ni, slightly. Wazuka ni, taikan, that's a new one. Add that to my dictionary, my flashcard deck. Bodily sensation, toshita atta. So there was a wazaka ni, come on, one more time. There was a slight sensation, a slight experience, toshita atta. Kasoku, kaju ga kieru. So what would this be the best? So this is also, I don't have these. Weighting and averaging, aggravation. I want to say that like there was just this like as a when you're in an elevator, it's just getting really detailed in the description. The movement, so you're on an elevator and like as it slows to a floor, like there's just kind of this moment of like momentum that like slows down and stops, so it's like vanishing. So this come on, acceleration increase. Yeah, this is showing up as this weighting in an average or aggravation kaju. I don't think that's what we're doing. I think it's just saying like the speed, this is the acceleration. So the acceleration, and then down here addition or increase ka, and then this is more into the like the heaviness. So it's like a heavy elevation. Why this isn't showing up as a word by itself, I don't know, but it's not, and that's just that's life. We don't always get what we want. Kieru, it vanished, disappeared. So the feeling of acceleration has gone away as we stopped on the floor. Elevator no doa ga yukkuri to haita. So it slowly opened. Elevator horu ni deru to doji ni, and at the same time, deru to doji ni, at the same time. Somebody we've bumped into. Hito to gekitotsu shita. We bumped into somebody. Tossa ni, right away, at once. Totsa ni aita no kata o tsukande sasaeru. So their companion's shoulder, they kind of caught onto it to support themselves. Suimasen. Sorry, excuse me. Oh my gosh. It's Makise Kurisu. Mikase? This is crazy. Sono josei no kao ni miyoboe ga atte. Scroll down. Miyoboe ga atta. I recognized her face. I'm terrified. I saw this morning. I saw this person die. Rather, I had a conversation with them. I talked to them, and then not 10 minutes after that, we heard a scream. I found her lying face down in a pool of blood, and that's when I ran out of the building. That's when I thought everybody in Akihabara disappeared. that's when I looked up and I saw the satellite smash into the building onto the 8th floor where I had just been. All of these things were things that I saw, and now I'm probably freaking out because I saw her dead body, and now she's right in front of me. I just bumped into her. 俺はクリスとしてしまって、ぐっきりとした so with an alarm, with a fright, with a fright. What do we got here? 瞬間的 instantaneous 瞬間的にそけ立ち I got goosebumps そけ立ち指一本動かせず like basically せず like I couldn't move a finger. It's frozen. 相手の顔を this person's shoulder. So I grabbed her shoulder if they bumped into. マジと見つめてしまう。しまう is てしまう, something that you would add on to a verb. It has a couple of nuances. The main one being this kind of like, it's a regrettable action. It's something that you didn't necessarily intend to happen. So it might be that like, oh, I didn't intend to, but I ate a whole cake. And it also will have a somewhat of a nuance of like completely doing something entirely. So eating a whole cake. 食べてしまう. You know, it's completely, you completely ate it all, and that's a regrettable thing that you did. You didn't want to have done it, but it happened. I don't always see it with that full context of complete or all, and so sometimes it's just that like this wasn't intended, but it happened, and it's regrettable. Like I didn't want for that to happen, but it happened. But it's always kind of in this kind of negative outcome. And in writing, you'll see te shimau. In speaking, you might see te cha'u or ja'u. So chatta. So you might see that instead of shimaimasu. You often will see this conjugated fully to te shimaimasu, te shimaimashita. But in speaking, you're going to see that shimaimasu, chatta, chaimasu, jaimasu. You'll see those, and they're all the same thing, but one of them is more exclusive to writing, and one of them is more exclusive to speaking. Somebody might look at you funny if you said te shimaimasu, even though it's normally written or, you know, around those kind of lines, but they'll understand what you mean. 女性というより more so than kind of like it being this been like running into a woman. 女性と呼んだ方がいいようなあとけない. So more so than like saying that this is a woman, more so that this is a woman. 上司と呼んだ方がいいような. It is would be better to say to call her a young lady. So more so than saying woman, she's a young lady. She's not a woman. She's a young lady. She's you know, I think in this she's a year younger than my character. She's about 17. I'm 18. Yona adoke na sa, like she's got innocent. Kono tansei na kao o, and again we get into this like she's got this shapely, handsome, clean-cut face. 俺はほんの3時間ほど前に見ている. Like not just 3 hours ago. I was in front of her, like I saw her. And here we go. It's burned in my head, burned in my eyes. So this is going back to like her name, which I think was Mikase Kurisu. It's very annoying to have it all in kanji, but it's all in kanji. Just got to start recognizing it.
何か
Ano nanika. Is there something you wanted? Kurisu wa keigen na kao o shite. She had a very suspicious, puzzled face. Ore kara hanare yo to suru. Kind of like she wants to like get away from me. I'm holding her shoulder. Daga, however, ore wa kanojo no kata o hanasana kata. But he didn't let go of her, basically. She seemed like she wanted to make me let go. I didn't do it. Gyaku ni tsukama o yubi ni chikara o komeru. On the other hand, it seems like I'm holding her more tightly, and then she's saying, that hurts. Kisama again is a not something I would recommend using ever. Kisama is something that, by definition, if you look it up, we'll see what it says here. No, I don't want to look at that. We'll see what they show us. Kisama, yeah, see? It's being used as you, but it is derogatory. It's a sensitive thing, meaning like don't just go around saying this. I don't know if it was ever used at a certain point where it was acceptable, but you'll hear this in Japanese and in anime a lot when a character is talking about somebody that they don't want to be talking to. It will be translated as "you bastard." It'll be translated as "you son of a bitch." Like it is not just the way it's translated. That is probably the way it's going to be interpreted. So don't read about this. This is the more extreme version. So like if we're talking about extremes, Kisama. I don't think he's saying that to her. I think he's more of like a surprise, like you. The step below that would be omae, which also comes up sometimes in anime or you're reading manga, and that literally just means like in front of me, like the person in front of me. I don't know your name. I don't know anything about you. I'm just gonna say omae. Also offensive. You don't want to say that. The one that's the least offensive, but you still wouldn't necessarily use, is anata. Anata is also you, but again, it is not necessarily polite. It is better if you're in a situation where you need to talk to somebody you don't know, just say sumimasen. Just say sumimasen is the number one thing. If you're not trying to start a conversation, you just need to get by somebody, you would just say gomen nasai, which is just I'm sorry, excuse me. Sumimasen is excuse me, but a little bit more leaning towards the like I could ask you a question, like I need directions or I don't know how to find something at a store, and you go to the person that working at the store, you would say sumimasen. Whereas if you need to get in front of somebody, you need to walk past somebody and they're looking at something in the aisle, you would more likely say gomen nasai. You would never say anata omae, and definitely not say kisama. It's going to show up in content that you watch, like here. Don't say it. Yeah, he's saying, Kisama wa shinda hazu da. You're supposed to be dead. Naze koko ni. Why are you here? Shikamo. Moreover, fuku ga doko mo yogorete inai. Your clothes are not dirty. She had been soaked in blood. Ano toki. That time. Come on. Kiteita no to onaji fuku da. This is the same clothing that you were wearing that time, but it's not dirty. Sono usui kiji no ue kara. Sono usui kiji. thin from above or over the thin from the top of the thin cloth. Kansatsu suru kagiri, to the extent of being able to, come on, grab that one, to survey or see the from the clothing. Kegarashi, kega wa shite inai yo ni mieru. So from what he could see, like from looking at the clothes, that just thin fabric, she's not even injured. Like he saw her, he assumed she was stabbed, but like you can't even see anything. Are dake, to that extent, no shuketsu, bleeding. I don't have that. Shuketsu, it's a new one. Shuketsu, what? Ryo naraba, like there was a large amount of blood. Jusho, a serious injury. Jusho o oteite mo okashikunai hazu nano ni. So again, like despite like there was so much blood loss, like you received such a serious wound, like it's strange. This word can mean a lot. Okashi, same way with the moshiroi. There's some of these that can have a lot of different meanings. So we're down here to the like it's strange, it's odd. Hazu, it should na no ni, even though it should be. It's strange because you lost a lot of blood. Like this shouldn't be what I'm seeing. What's this? Mukizu, unhurt, uninjured. Mukizu. That's a new one. Unscathed. Basically, again, she's starting to say choto, but she says like itai, it hurts, and like let go. Ta. Because kurisu ni mune no atari o tsukitobasareta. So, mune no atari o. So I say this basically like from her, like she's hit him on the chest to get him away, basically. Ore kara, from me, hanareta kurisu wa seikai shita yosu de niramitskete kuru. So now she's separated from me and she's come to glare at me. I mean, yeah, it's a strange situation, but also you just ran into somebody, grabbed their shoulder as tightly as you could, and they said stop, and you just stood there like a goober saying you should be dead. Who does that? Totemo kega ni wa mienai. This is a person who has no injuries. I'm unable to see a person with injuries. Nannano? Like what is this? What's going on? He talks so damn fast. This is great for light listening practice sometimes, but make no mistakes. Outside of like the other characters, sometimes they're speaking so fast. You know, if you are fluent enough to understand what they're saying at the speed they're saying it, you probably aren't reading in Japanese to help you practice. You're pretty fluent at that point. Buji datta no ka? You're safe? Kega o heiki nano ka? Like you're what about the injury? Like that injury is like it's okay? Yeah, wait, no. Sonna hazu wa nai. That can't be. Mikase kurisu wa nanimono ni sasarete chimamire で so she was stabbed and bloodstained.
またその話かよ。
またその話かよ. It's like, again, that story again, because we texted Daru right after we saw that happen. 割り込んで to, so he's cutting in. 切ったのはダルだった. So Daru has forced himself into the conversation. しかも妙ないい草だ. And how even more so, not only did he bud his way into her conversation, that he forced his way into this conversation. He strange. It was with strange remarks.
またその話とはどういう意味だ。
またその話とはどういう意味? What do you mean? The same
だ
story.
って1週間前にも僕にそんなメール送ってきたじゃん。
Are you kidding me? またその話とはどういう no, same fucking. だって after all 1週間前にも僕にそんなメール送ってきたじゃん. So up until this point, I was living in a world where we went to that building, we went to a talk, we saw her dead, and as far as I'm concerned, that was a few hours ago. I left there, I was with Mayuri, we went back to the lab, we hung out, we made gel bananas again. Mayuri ate the gel bananas. We had this whole day, all in the same day, and now Daru is saying, 1 week ago, you sent me an email. I thought I sent that email this morning. So that's pretty strange. That's pretty strange.
俺が
Like, Mail? Me?
何をバカだ。マキセ・クリスが殺されているのを見たのはほんの3時間前だぞ。
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm saying. Like that. What is like that? Stupid. Like I saw like she was killed. I saw it, and it was like 3 hours ago.
ちょっと勝手に殺さないでくれますか。私ピンピンしてますんで。
I don't know what some of those things were. Wait a minute, ちょっと。勝手に voluntarily 壊さないでくれますか? So, like, let's walk through this. Willfully, as one pleases, 壊さないでくれます. So this is くれでくれますか? くる? Yeah, to kill でくれます. 私はピンピンしてますんで. I'm not 100% sure, because this is saying like to be overcome with like I wasn't basically like I wasn't killed, like I'm not dead. Kureru. Like I personally, like I'm full of energy, like I'm here, and this nde is just kind of like masu nde is just the kind of like explanatory desu.
そういえばあのメール変な感じだったな。送信日時が1週間後になってた。つまり未来から来たっつうか。
Okay, そういえば, so now that you mentioned it, あのメールは変な感じだったな. Like now that you mentioned, like I had a strange feeling about that email. 送信時間が1週間後になった. So it's saying that like it was the transmission date and time was a week after. つまり未来から来たつ. It basically like it seemed like it came from the future. 未来から来た. She's came from the future?
ネットで妙な考察サイトでも見たのか誰。お前がとんでも理論を言い出すのは珍しい。
No, I see. ネットで妙な考察サイト 妙な交際サイトでも見たのがだる. So, online, on the internet, they strange, 妙な考察 site. So it's not a strange investigation site. でも見たのか. Like maybe you were, like, were you looking at a strange investigation site? お前がとんでも理論を言い出すとは珍しい. Like, it's not like you to have such an outrageous theory, to bring up such a. It's rare for you to say something, a theory like that. That's not something that you would normally do.
違うがな。確かにメールの日付は1週間後の28。あ、そっか。28日だから今日じゃん。
違うよがな. So it's like, no, that you're wrong. 確かにメールの日付は1週間後の20 the 28th. あ、そうか. The 28th day だから、今日じゃん. So he's saying like, no, it's like, it didn't show up today, it showed up a week ago. だるは慌てる様子で自分の携帯をさし俺に見せてきた. So I got confused. So I opened up my phone to take a look. Or he's showing me his phone. 確かにそれは俺から誰へのメールだった. So, yeah, without a doubt, there's a mail that he received on the 21st. Uh, 受信に日時は7月21日12:56 and 送信日時は7月28日. So it was received. It's saying that it was received, right? It's received. It was received on the 21st of July at 12:56, but it was sent on the 28th of July at 12:54. So it was sent 2 minutes, and then rather than arriving 2 minutes later, it arrived 7 days early. メールは計算数 yeah, I don't know. 計算数 again, not super important. いつ目はthe name Kurisu. Maybe Kase Kurisu. So this is probably like the subject. につは男に刺された. 3つ目がみたいだ. Oh, so it's like each line is probably arrived in multiple lines. So it was like she was stabbed. 男なぜこんな短い文面を3つに分かって分かって送ったんだ俺は. So like was that me? それに3つ目は途中で途切れしまったかのようにも見える. So he's saying it looks like the text he sent was like broken into multiple transmissions. こんな短文メールを送った記憶はない. He doesn't remember sending those multiple transmissions. だが, however, 文面には み覚えがあった。But he does remember the contents.
これは3時間前に誰に送ったメールだ。
これは3時間前に誰に送ったメールだ。This 3 hours ago. I sent this email 3 hours ago. だがこのメールは十分だった。3通に分けて送ったわけではないし、この後にもまだやばいまだ what? まだ what? Come on. まだ続きがあった。それが1週間前の21日に誰の携帯に届いただと。So like again, like he received this last week. 興味深い。Very interesting. 興味深いわね。いつの間に寄ってきたのが、いつの at a point arrive as coming 俺の隣でクリスも真剣な面持ちで携帯画面を覗き込んでいた。So she came next to him and was like looking at the phone as well. そうだ、メールはどうでもいい。メールはどうでもいい。そうだ、this is important. どうでもよくはないが、今はどうでもいい。So he's saying that the mail, as for the mail, like it's inconsequential. It's not worth worrying about. どうでもよくはないが。So よくはない。今はどうでもいい。どうでもよくはない。It wasn't like it wasn't all good then, but now it seems fine. Like she's alive, like kind of a thing maybe. それより apart from that, こいつはなぜピンピンしているのかということだ。それが一番の問題。So like the male, whatever. The most important question he's got is why is she alive? これは幻なのか Is she a ghost? いや、悪霊か Is she an evil spirit? 悪霊かただって出たのか Is she come to haunt him? Sorry, just checking my time. I still do have to go pick up my package. I think I'm going to go through a couple more lines and then I'm going to stop for the day. I'm going to go through a couple more lines and I got to pick up my package from the mail post office. They were not open when they were supposed to be open. 俺はそんな such this kind of 非科学的 this kind of unscientific 事象は信心臓 I don't believe in this kind of unscientific stuff. 何しろ at any rate マッドサイエンティストだからな at any rate I'm a mad scientist. 俺はすぐそば right next to にあるクリスの、横顔に so her face in profile he's saying it 恐る but he's scared 手を伸ばす so the he's extended his hand out. He's very scared. He extends his hand out. 指先がその髪に触れる My man Ritaro's being a real creep. First he bumps into it, grabs her shoulder, doesn't let it go. And now he's just reaching out, telling her that she should be dead. He's reaching out and touching her hair. さらさらとした手触り So he's kind of like with the ruffling sound, kind of moving his finger through her hair. 実にキュティクルだ It's a cuticle 実に So like he's like running his finger through with his fingernail, I guess.
実体がある。やはり幽霊だというのは考えすぎか。
ある you exist 実体がある There's substance here. She's not a ghost. やはり likewise 幽霊だというのは考えすぎが like I'm overthinking this. Like of course you're not a ghost. That changed her face real quick.
オカリンまずくね
Okarin, like that was bad. クリスの顔をペチペチとペチペチは Okay, don't know. ペチペチと叩いてみたり It was like she was slapped in the face. 指で続いてみる He's still trying to poke her face. なんという柔らかさだろう So he's just saying, wow, this, how soft he's touching her face. 肌のバリが違う。肌のバリが違う。It's like, it's no different from like the skin from like a story maybe? 針が違う. Or maybe it's just like there's no question. It's just like, she's got skin. I don't know. 死体ではこうはいかない。死体では、so basically she's not a corpse. いや、死体の肌に触れたことはないが、like, it doesn't feel like a corpse's skin. She's very upset. というか、perhaps I should say そもそも in the first place 最初にぶつかりそうになった時も so like well for the first part like I bumped into her like of course she's not a ghost 俺はこの女の肩に触れていたしこの女の手に突き飛ばされました So not only did I grab her shoulder, I bumped into her, I grabbed her shoulder, she pushed me, like I felt her hand when she pushed me それなのに and yet 実体がないなどと一瞬でも思ってしまったとはそれだけ自分が混乱している証拠だな So it's just like I'm very confused like I should have known all this from the start but like this is just evidence that I'm like a little bit confused and flustered ではラジカンで見た凄惨な光景は何だったのだ俺が聞いた男の悲鳴な何だったのだ So I think he's still confused and he's just kind of like that like I heard that man scream he heard a man scream 集団消失と同じく一連の出来事の方は幻だったのか like was all of that an illusion? Everything that happened? Kizuda, an injury. 目の前にいる Mikase Kurisu no shintai ni kizu ga aru no ka nai no ka? Nai no ka? So was there an injury? Was there not an injury? それを確かめずにはいられない. Like I didn't check. Uh-oh. Oh god. 俺は彼女の服の裾を掴むとゆっくりとめくり上がようとして So he's trying to lift her shirt up to see if she's got a scar.
俺は警察に突き出されたいのか
She's saying, 俺は police? Like, do I need to hand you over to the police? Do I need to turn you into the police? Tsukidasu.
俺は真実を知りたいだけだ。
俺は真実を知りたいだけだ. I just want to know the truth. Jeez, oh Pete, this guy's crazy. 怒りに震える shaking with rage. ミカセクリスの目をまっすぐに見つめ返したまま staring straight at him. さらに服の裾を上へと
何が真実よこの変態バカなの死ぬの
Wow. 何が what do you want like the truth about what? この変態 like pervert バカなの Are you stupid? 死ぬ Do you want to die? 手をはたき落とされて So 手をはたき He basically let his hand fall.
ルイスちゃんの名台詞来たこれ
Wait a minute, okay. ルイスちゃんのメザリブ A famous life 来たこれ It's happening here メゼリブサリブ Mezeribu. So once again, Daru, who's kind of a pervert, this must be a line that's been used in other kind of like hentai and things that he's watched and read, and so he's just kind of like, wow, it's just like this is happening for real. So Deisa-chan must be a character. So it's like her famous line, Kitakore, it's happening. Daru ga nani ga Yondeiru ga mushishite, so he ignored what he was saying. Ore wa hirumazu, without faltering. Tsuzukeru, he's continuing without faltering.
俺は確かに見たのだ。
Like without fail, I have to see. And unfortunately, we'll have to find out what happens tomorrow. So we're gonna save. Overwrite that save. I want to say that I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. Okarin has been constantly a person who is thinking things through in his head and not saying things out loud and just acting. And while he's overthinking things and thinking too much about stuff, the rest of the world is existing and time is moving, and he's often just acts kind of like foolishly and without paying attention to what he's doing. So. A real winner, this one. So we'll find out next time how far this goes before he gets slapped, struck, hit, maybe killed. Maybe Kurisu will actually just kill him. But also, why is she not dead? We saw that. We were playing the game. We saw her. She had a conversation with him. They met. Very strange time travel stuff is happening. We're getting farther and farther in. Very excited to play again tomorrow.